Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream, welcome back to GT3, and yeah, we are here for another weekend. Summer's flying by so fast, it's already July 10th. What happened to the time? I don't know. But I do know that time's at 11 hours for Gran Turismo 3 for our playthrough, which is crazy. I think this is our 7th stream of this game, which is absolutely bonkers. But yeah. Here's a rundown of where we left off. We were just cleaning up. We did the Beetle Cup, and I thought about doing the Altezza race, but I backed out on it because we're going to need to use the Altezza later. I don't want to dump money uselessly in upgrades, and besides, we have faced ourselves another challenge, which is getting our license. Now, last time we got a license, I decided to play arcade mode first and be licensed later, but today I think I'm going to do the opposite because the A license is more difficult and there's a few tracks that are notoriously difficult. And then we can do arcade mode after. And then we can maybe see if we can crack a couple race events. So, I think we're going to start our segment doing the A license. So, before we get started and start the timer, I think, yeah, let's just give a rundown of our week. Worked again, second week at the job, which it's nice, it's getting comfortable, and just keep the grind going. Hopefully your guys' week and your subsequent weekend is going well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the 4th, if that was around. Hopefully you got some good fireworks, and yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking about kind of spreading out more streams throughout the summer. Like, we did a track media stream last week. I'm thinking we might try out that speedrunning Spyro stream at some point. I might hop into GT4 just to do like a fun chill stream, not a playthrough necessarily. And then also I'm thinking one of the next playthroughs to get my eyeballs on is Test Drive Unlimited for the PS2. I do have it, and I completed it on the PSP and the Xbox 360, but never the PS2. So we could do that at some point. Maybe in the future, because I lended my copy to Burnout 3 to a friend, so I don't have it for now. But, yes. A lot of familiar faces here. Factorial, GamesX, Rainy Duck, Boss Dude, Dark Shark. It is a large PS2 game. I don't want to full play through it until I've cleared out a few games before, because we just get fatigued. That game's going to be like 250 hours minimum. So, yeah. You can't decide whether to watch Crew or me. Why don't you watch both on a double monitor? But we're going to be suffering through the A license. So, let's get our timer going. And let's get right into this. Timer works. Beautiful. Alright, next part of our playthrough. And I'm thinking instead of doing arcade races, which can be really done at any time, there's no requirement. It's just a nice way to pace the game. I'm instead going to go to License Center because we have finally cleared out every single B license event, and that means we need a new license, so that means another 8 tests in the License Center. And this is another standard in Gran Turismo, the A license, also very, very, very standard and old school. And yeah, that's basically it, just more tests, harder challenges, longer challenges, more complexity, all that good stuff. Let's get right into it. This is A1 and the NSX. I don't know first gear in this car. I feel like I shifted a bit early there. I have seen the trailer for Solar Crown, for Test Drive Solar Crown, and very CGI, no gameplay. So, still holding my expectations. So, we have a driving line here. Probably could use second gear. And that's actually going to be slow then. 33.1. If I shifted in a second, we might have got it. Not based. So, let's just retry. Do a longer first gear and shift into second. Yeah. Mid 45 miles an hour. We just shifted too early on that one. You want to use up all the tachometer. I think I actually hit the rev limiter on 3rd gear, so my Ghost is sort of catching up. I tried the reverse shift, and it works! That's the first time I've pulled off the reverse shift. Someone in the comments told me that, and I thought, okay, you know what, let's try it. When you hit the rev limiter, hit triangle, and you get a nice short shift, and you know what, that got me gold, second try. So, that is based. So, yes, I can see you, chat. I see your Subin. I recognize you by your profile picture. Yeah. The game should be fun. But I don't know. It's got Forza Horizon to compete with now. There have been 5 Forza Horizons since Test Drive Unlimited 2 came out, so it's got a lot of competition. Here's our second A2 with the Skyline. Love that launch. Nice. No wheel spin. Aw, we just missed out. I got silent there because I'm like, oh, I might have botched that turn, but 10th of a second. Get right back in it. Yeah, Test Drive is known to be more of a game about the driving experience rather than the actual like racing. So it doesn't want to compete with Forza, but let's be real, the competition is going to compare it directly to Forza Horizon because they're both open world racing games with, you know, that tropical, well, not tropical this time, but like that, you know, that free roam presence. Wow, I actually butchered that attempt. I thought this would be another 2-tryer. Like Car X Racing, I heard that game was good. So I had a worse launch. Just by a little bit. But we can make it up in the corner. Oh, there we go. Just 009 in it. That's it, 3rd try. Pretty good. Maybe we'll get 4 tries on the next one. So, that's base. We're just speedrunning through this set license, aren't we? But I know there are a couple tests in here that are going to get really, really bad. So, it looks like I'm bossing these tests, but trust me, we're not out of the woods yet. We get an S2000. I should try the reverse shift on that. Yeah, Skyline was in like the perfect color combo, Bayside blue. That 2000 looks pretty good too. So, turn 1 of midfield. Adjust with the D-pad, take the inside line. Probably could have carried more speed, but let's see how it is. Ah, 2/10. So, let's keep going. I feel like our time could be on the braking point and our launch. So, the triangle shift works really nicely. Like, look how much time we gain from that. That's broken. This time we carry some more speed. Go a bit wider, but let's see if that's enough. Triangle shift is overpowered. Wow, I'm just blazing through this license. We'll keep going. Alright, first test that might be tricky is this RX-7 circle test, because you gotta manage your cornering. And this is on a dry line. Eventually this test come back with a wet line. They're just throwing every JDM car at us. And that's basically 2 laps around the circle. And you just want to control third gear. Could go a bit tighter. Oh, it's 3 laps, I think. Oh, that's really wide. That's not going to be good. I have to adjust. I was setting up for the end, and I failed it. Ideally, you want to be holding right the whole time and adjusting with your accelerator and not the opposite. So yeah, it is 3 laps around the circle. And as soon as I touch the curb, I hit the thing. Let's try the reverse shift. Okay, that doesn't work for me. And fun fact, this test was in GT2, just with a different car. We're going a little wide. But since we're going in a circle, our speed should be fine. Get close to the curb. Watch the curb. Whoa! First completion. Didn't even need the reverse shift. Literally a speed run. Yeah, we're going in circles, just like with the rotary engine. So, once again, based. Yeah, the curb is the sweet spot because you get a lot of grip, but then your car also easily oversteers into the cones. And the second you have oversteer, it's over. How many Test Drive Unlimited games there are? There are 2. 1 and 2. I mean, Test Drive Unlimited 1 has 2 variants, but they're basically the same. Yeah, George Russell almost got points 2 weeks in a row. So made me realize, like, wait, did I just click on the same test? No. This is actually a bigger circle, so it's faster. And that's a big mistake, so let's see. 3 laps around the circle. This time they give us more curb to work with. I had to adjust with the steering there. I wish you guys could see my inputs on my DualShock, because I feel like those would be really fascinating to look at on this run. Curb just gives so much grip. There's a lot of time in these runs, but first try. 1 try. Literally powerhouse in this license. Wow, I'm really like making myself look stupid by saying these tests are gonna be painful. But yeah, that's how GT is sometimes. A6, Jaguar XKR. No more RX-7 for now. But yeah, Test Drive Unlimited 1, really well received. Test Drive Unlimited 2, mixed receptions, and there are some glaring issues, but some of the features in Test Drive Unlimited 2 are some of the best in any racing game. So this test is a little awkward because, you know, it's midfield and we're in the XKR, which is not the best car to handle. 526, this is not going to be it. Yeah, silver first try. Back to this. We're in the Jag. Okay. So I think we can manage our gears better. Doing lower third gear. Let's see what that helps. 5, 6. There we go. 2 tries. I don't think Test Train Limited Solar Crown personally is going to be better than Forza Horizon 5 because TDU games have a lot of like polish issues, and it's also bounced around a lot of developers. And Playground Games knows how to make a Forza Horizon game. They got that locked down. So, I don't know. Okay, this is the test everyone knows about. This is that test, A7. All our steamrolling stops here. A7 is one of the worst tests in the entire game, franchise series. It's one corner, it's short, only 14 seconds, but man is the window tight. We drive a Camaro D28. We should be familiar with this car from the playthrough, but it is it's one corner of pain. This test took me hours when I was a kid. And you think, okay, 389, we're only a couple tenths off. But trust me, this gets terribly difficult. The shifting is awkward to time. And you gotta use as much of this as possible, but don't clip the wall. 270. We get closer. There's kind of a plateau. And fun fact, the world record for this license test, you'd think all of the amazing GT players, it's only a 14.0, and it's like a 14.05. Better shift. I unsettled the car a little bit. And we go too wide. So many tries we're gonna have. I don't know. When I was a kid, well, not even a kid, when I was in college, this test took me like 2 hours. Inside wall. Hey Justin. We are on the pain test. I had a good baseline, but now trying to find improvement is tricky. Too much drift, not enough speed. We hit the inside wall, but I'm sticking with it, and it's not good enough. The frustrating thing is, it's literally just one corner. The corner itself is not that bad. I don't usually forget my fans if they're sticking around. Yeah. Definitely the game shows a lot of promise, but we have to see how the developers handle it. They've given themselves a full, like, 15 months to work on it, so that sounds good. So finally we have a run going, but I throw it away. September 22nd, is that? I thought it was September 2022. I guess that's a coincidence. This is getting tricky. I wonder what happens if I shift within the jump. Ooh, that's better. Hold it to the right. Oh my god, I choked it. Yeah, shifting on the jump is just better. Took too much break. Man, my line was just a good line. Okay, this should be an improvement at least. Unless I choke it. How did I get my line and just like attempt 2? Okay, well that's at least an improvement. Oh, I thought we had a potentially good line going. I hit the inside wall, but I thought you could maybe clean it up. Too much turn. So I actually see the chat on Streamlabs before I see it on YouTube, oddly enough. Ooh, I tried to correct it and I actually just steered wide out. Another one where I lost the car on the braking. Yeah, this test is brutal. And to be fair, this is one of the most brutal tests in the entire game. So once we clear this, you can basically clear any of the tests. Oh, that could have been a small improvement. These tests are about grinding, basically. Just getting the line and the breaking point. As cruel as the driving line doesn't help that much. It helps to get bronze, but if you want the gold, you gotta do the strats. I feel like this test is impossible on automatic, or at least very close to impossible. Ooh, 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 ooh. No! It's a new record, but I choked the end by bonking the inside wall. The breaking point mode. I haven't watched the trailer yet, or any of the gameplay. I don't know if I want to buy it or not. Oh, that was gonna be a good one. I don't know if that would have been gold, but that would have been a good one. So now we know if we at least keep up and just don't bonk the inside wall. I was trying to hold my line, hold the speed. Yeah, Asphalt 8 got murdered, like for like the 17th time. Ooh. No. No. No way. No way. No way. That's so cruel. the webcam lags. I have it on like a 800 millisecond delay because the Elgato's on a bit of a delay. I know, so did the SLK and the homage got obliterated. Now my shifts are off. Man, I can't even just get that deep corner now. I've just been completely robbed. $229. That exit. Good enough. I know Asphalt 9. Watch like the last couple Asphalt videos that I posted. Or follow the channel since February. Oh. No! Bonk the wall. It's like that was a great line, but I went too wide. But you have to put your foot down on the exit. It's just one of those tricky things where you had the stability, but not the line. Oh, come on. Didn't connect on the curb. You have to also make the curb connect with the car. There's a lot of small mechanics you have to like get down in this test for it to all work out. You either have to do this in a slide, like what my PB is. Oh. Oh. Let's go. I'm doing it in a slide and I just do it. Nice. Nice. Very nice. 14,182. Very based. Okay, that only took like what? 15 minutes? Let's save this replay. I'm gonna call it mega based. That's so funny. Streamer moment. And yeah, for the video archive, we'll just show you how many completions we had. 203, that was the most painful one. Only 6 completions that kept restarting. Maybe I'll make an attempt counter and put it on the VOD. Anyway, last test. A8. Anyone get triggered from that? A8 means a totally different thing in this game. We're driving an Evo 4, not a 5. And I immediately fail it. It's another short test, but it's multiple corners. Oh man. Can I just get a completion? There we go. I got my completion. Right back to steamrolling. Half an hour of streaming. That's all it took. And we completely cleared the A license. Absolutely beautiful. Based. Literally. 1 record. There you go. So, we can go to the exit Get it. Slap down. There's your A license. Basically the same way as B license, they just changed the letter. There you go. Love this music. Prize card time, because we got all gold for getting all gold in the A license in just half an hour. We get an RX-8. So, awesome. This was back when this card was a concept, actually, because this game came out in 2001. So, it's the very first version of it. But yep, all gold licenses. Wow, I really did like blaze through that. I did this a lot faster than how it used to take in my childhood. So yes, we can go here. Mazda RX-8, Melia Red, $75,000 value. And yeah, rotary engine, FR. So there you go. As for our progress, 21.7%. So pretty good. Pretty good. Now we have an A license, 16 golds. And that's the end of the segment. We did 1,000 miles, by the way. Nice. Let's save the game. Big save right there. So, there we go. We have our A license. So yeah, I'll show you what A license gets you. It gets you nothing in Professional League, but it gets you access to the Final Championship and Beginner, which is probably what we might do first. And then it gets you access to like half of Amateur League. Got a good mix of stuff to do here. And thankfully we have a bit of money to play with. Altazza returns for A license. Silver Arrow returns. Tourist Trophy. And challenge races. And these championships. Which we'll get into when we get there. But yes. I think we're ready to start our arcade grinding, just so we can do some arcade racing. And then I don't know if we should do GT World Championship or some other challenge. But let's get into a segment. Alright, so next part. We got our A license for time, but we actually kind of blazed through that. So we are going to get out of civilization mode and go to arcade mode, because we haven't done arcade mode in a while. We have to grind another area. Area B. So, going back to single race, back to hard mode. We got 6 more tracks to cover. Yeah, 6 more tracks. We actually start with the rally track, Smoky Mountain 2. Look at that, there's an Escudo against an Evo 6 rally car on that. That's totally fair. Totally fair, GT. And yeah, now we have access to some garage cars. We actually have one rally car that we can use, which is the Evo 6. But I'm not going to do that because you already get one in arcade. Now, I think... what car should I use? There's literally just one front-wheel drive rally car that I can do. Yeah. We drove the 2 Imprezas last time. Let's drive the Evo 7. Yeah, retro games. We're playing retro games. I don't miss Asphalt 9. I enjoyed the memories that it had, but it's time to move on at some point. Gran Turismo OnlyFans. What would that look like? Oh, traction. So, Evo 7 versus Impreza 01. These were the future of WRC. Not anymore. But I used to fantasize about these 2 specific cars, the rally car prototypes, Evo 7 and the Impreza. Because, like, dude, it's like red and blue, Impreza versus Lancer. The dominant forces of rally. Not really in real life, but, you know. Probably one of the most recognizable rivalries in racing. But I think the Lancer Evo 7's rally car never ended up looking like this. The Imprezas looked pretty similar to what it does in this game, but I believe the Lancer never ended up like this. This was based on the Evo 6's design which was real. Pepsi 24. Asphalt 9 is boring. Yeah, that's kind of why I stopped playing. Because I didn't, I don't know. I found it way too repetitive, and I kind of snooped into, kind of see what was going on. I had to bounce clubs. Whoa, that's a big lift. Big lift. And that's a wall bonk. I snooped in to switch to the Legions United Inactive Club. Kind of peeked around what's going on. It's still Grand Prix. Still special events. Still car hunts. Still the same Unleashed. I tried that Nitro Pollution and just... not a fan. Not a fan. I don't really care about the view count. Most of it's from Asphalt anyway. I kind of treat this as like starting over from scratch. And let me tell you, if I post an Asphalt video, people will watch it. But let's be real, my viewer count was declining. Other big lift. Looks like you have to brake right before. Big spin. My view count was declining. Even this year in Asphalt. You know, my streams only got a few thousand views, whereas in Asphalt 8, I'd be breaking the 10,000 view count barrier on both videos and streams pretty often. And yeah, there were times in Asphalt where I had hundreds of viewers at a time, but that was only when I was like opening packs or something, or I was close to Legend League or beating 1v1. But let's be real, it's so fatigued, the pack openings and grinding the same seasons and the same cars, the same opponents. Just doesn't hit the same anymore. Forza Horizon 5 versus Test Drive Solar Crown. Now, someone had brought it up asking if it's going to be better, and that it's not a game to be compared with each other. But I disagree because social media and critics are going to be comparing the two games. TDU Solar Crown, I think, is just naturally at a disadvantage because it's not a Microsoft Studio game. Let's be real. The main publishers and journalists and most of the people are going to be pushing the Forza Horizon 5 because, number one, it's on Game Pass. Number two, it's had 4 Horizon games since TDU 2 came out. Most people haven't heard the name Test Drive since the 90s and early 2000s. And I feel the same way. I used to play Test Drive on the PS1 as a little kid. Never played the PS2 games, and then when TDU 2 came out, I discovered it in 2011. It was a buy 2 get 1 free sale at GameStop, and I was picking up Little Big Planet 2 with the kid. And I saw the Test Drive game, Test Drive Unlimited 2. I'm like, oh wow, they still make Test Drive games? And I picked it up because it was a sale, and I loved it. I loved it. TDU 2 is an awesome game, and I want Solar Crown to kind of relive that magic, because TDU 2 did have issues with the handling and cheesy plot and mostly the handling and the economy late game. But with what TDU 2 has, it's got graphics at the time, the car features like rolling down the window, taking down the top, listening to a radio, tuning into the radio, buying a house, walking around your house with furniture. You don't get that. Even in Forza Horizon 4 where they added houses, it was basically just a beauty spot. There was no purpose to them. That was totally a gimmick. 11 seconds to the Impreza. Easy dub. I think Horizon 5 is going to obliterate Test Drive in reviews. Absolutely obliterate it. No question about it. But the thing is, will Test Drive deliver? Ooh, I just slammed my phone into the table. Will test drive deliver? That's a question mark, because the developer's track record is not bad. I'm gonna drive S-Class on this one. I'm gonna drive the Castrol NSX. Horizon games are very repetitive once you get through the main races. A lot of it is just like grind a speed trap, grind a drift zone, do this series of boring races with lifeless AI. They call it the drive tires, but I don't know. I got kind of bored of it. Brenton's here. What's up? We're playing Classic. So they put touring cars in this race. I guess because it's arcade, right? Is that a Jaguar XT220 at the front? I think it is. Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Horizon 5 and Test Drive, both games, but Horizon 5, you can bet on Horizon 5 being a good game. All of Forza Horizon 4's issues are like replayability, car sounds, and maybe like late game variety and things to do. But Test Drive Unlimited 2 had that problem too. I think that's just something that open world racing games are tricky with, is how to do replayability. Because part of an open world racing game is exploring the map, doing all the intricacies, and exploring around. Once you do every race, every speed trap, every drift zone, every little challenge, like, then what? You just have an open world that ends up being lifeless. Do double overtake around the outside? You actually work with downforce on these cars. It's crazy. Eliminator is great, yes. It was a nice... I only played it once, but it was a nice spin on the Battle Royale genre for racing. Was 3 really that disliked? I liked 3. I thought it had a great car list and location. I think 4 is basically the same game as 3, just with the better car list. But 4 doesn't have the dodge dart. Horizon 5 I feel like will be very similar to 4. If not basically the same game. Just a different coat of paint, different location. There'll be the gimmick like, you know, the volcano. I'm sure it'll be beautiful, but I'm sure it'll be nothing more than just something you drive past and don't think about. Unless you're a game journalist. So, I think Horizon 5 is going to smash it in the reviews, and Solar Crown, I'm going to guess it's going to get a 7 out of 10. That is my prediction. Is IGN and pretty much other news outlets will give it somewhere in the range of a 70%. Metacritic, they'll get it somewhere in like the 70% range. Passable, maybe not groundbreaking, like they supposedly say Horizon is. Like, I get it, Horizon's a great game, but I don't know. The first Horizon game had so much magic, and that game was what I never understood was Horizon 1 was underappreciated by journalists and fans at the time. And since Horizon 2 and 3, mostly 3, but since then game journalists have been like, oh, it's what carries the Xbox, and I thought they only say that because it's on the Xbox One, and that's all Xbox has to offer. Horizon 1 came out at the end of the Xbox 360 era when they had, you know, basically like every game on its side. Halo, Gears of War, was Mass Effect exclusive? I don't remember. And nobody really does Gears of War anymore. I just messed up that corner, and here comes the Supra. And then Halo Infinite looks promising, but it hasn't had a smash hit since what was it, Halo 3 or ODST? Which one came out later? I don't remember. But the one before Halo 4. People liked Halo 4. I liked playing split screen with it with my friends. but I never played the campaign. Supposedly it wasn't as well received, and then 5 especially. And Master Chief Collection was apparently a disaster at launch. It's better now, and I actually own it on PC, but... Alright, Forza's basically been the only series that has played their cards right. But you're starting to see the cracks with like Forza Motorsport. Motorsport 7 got great reviews by critics, but fans had mixed opinions on it. And now the game is kind of dead. And yeah, the game's old, but so is Horizon 4. And Horizon's getting a sequel before the next Motorsport. That's the big thing. Because, yeah, where does Forza go from here? They've kind of made themselves an arcade open world racer, but they still try to do that simcade thing with Motorsport. But people don't really like driving slow around on real racetracks as much as they used to. You have to make the cars enjoyable to drive on a racetrack. And yeah, Gran Turismo, especially the classics, I feel like do this simcade perfectly. And Motorsport's getting rebooted, but we don't know many details on what the game's going to be like. How is its career mode? How is the car list? How is the handling? If it's going to be similar to what Motorsport 7 was like, especially on the handling and kind of how you drove your cars around, I don't know how well received it will be. I feel like this game could be make or break for the Motorsport side of Forza. F. I didn't see, but I'm assuming it was spam. Don't get too close to the sun, Icarus. Horizon 6. Yeah, everyone's already talking about Horizon 6, and Horizon 5 barely has, like, exposure other than that first trailer. The thing is, I agree that their best move with Motorsport would be to go like a full sim and compete with like your Assetto Corsa and try to outdo Gran Turismo in terms of handling and physics, but I don't think Forza's market, their player base, would actually like that. I don't think they would actually like a game that's hard to drive. Horizon, or all Forza games, even the Motorsport games, I'd say like as a casual player, they're best known for how easy they are to pick up. Forza games are very user-friendly, newbie-friendly. The handling is easy. There's challenges you can make it, like, but turning off traction control is never a challenge, even on like the 1,000 horsepower cars that you could upgrade. Turning off all the driver aids, with the exception of ABS, but that's pretty much every ABS in racing games is like that. You don't even have to think about it. On a real sim, if you turn off traction control, you have to be really careful with cornering and acceleration and low gears. And even Gran Turismo does that. Don't pass me. Do not pass. Oh my god, that got too close. Imagine if I wasted like 10 minutes of my life just to get pipped by that Supra. He went in a bit too close. It's the other NSX had a bad race. That's weird, but I guess it's arcade mode. It's all rubber banding anyway. Next race. That's 2 out of 6. Kappa, 69. Next up is Grand Valley. This is going to be a long one. I would say A-Class. It's time to use A-Class, but... nah. Corvette or Viper? Let's do Viper. How many GT games are there? If you count the spin-offs, there are There are 8 mainline games, 7, 8. That depends if you want to count PSP and Tourist Trophy. So there's actually up to 9 mainline games. But let's just say for simplicity's sake, there's 7. 7 mainline games, 1 through 6 in sport, and then you got PSP and Tourist Trophy, and then you got the concept games, like Concept 2001, 2002, 4 Prologue, 5 Prologue, and then all the demo discs, the GT Academy versions, the press kit releases. So there's a good mix. But in terms of mainline games, there are 2 for each PlayStation, up through 1 through 3. And then the PS4 only has Gran Turismo Sport. PS5, technically you can backwards compatible Gran Turismo Sport, but then I would have to say PS3 could play all 6 games then, right? So, I don't know. PS5 is only having Gran Turismo 7 for now, but Gran Turismo 7 is actually going to release on the PS4 too. So, I don't know how they're going to handle that. I don't like that move. So also, we're in a Viper, GT car racing prototypes, but it's arcade mode, so it's not that overpowered. Yeah, I played GT Sport last night actually. I still hang around. I just did the Lewis Hamilton time trials recently, and that was a good, fun challenge. Well worth $8. I was waiting for it to go on sale forever, and then I realized, it's probably never going to go on sale. Let's just do it while I'm at home. And yeah. Sport, I don't know. People are divided on it. At launch, it was rough because it had a low car list, low track list, and it was basically just online. That was all you could really do. And the driving tests. But nowadays, you can get it for like $10, and it's a full game. It's got the GT League. It's still got the license tests and challenges. Sport mode is still active. And the car list is like double what it used to be in 2017. It got a lot of updates. It actually just got updated this week to add a single car, the 2021 Toyota 86. And it's like dirt cheap. So... and this R390 is giving us a hard time. GR86. Yes. How many DLCs there are? There's only one paid DLC, but I want to say there's like 20 updates, maybe more. There's a lot of updates for the game that were free. But only one paid DLC, which is the Lewis Hamilton Challenge. It's $8. But yeah, some of the classic GT mechanics, like in-depth story mode and like actually grinding up a license, that is gone from GT Sport. And also the GT League, which serves to be a pseudo career mode. It's got good prize money, so if you want to buy new cars, GT League's a great way to earn money. But there's no prize cars. You get a prize car for doing 26 miles per day. It's called Daily Marathon. Which is nice, but you know, there's no like progression in it. It's just a random car. Could be a road car, could be a rally car you already have, could be a $20 million classic car. You never know. Usually you get rally cars and road cars. A lot of duplicates if you play for a while. And then at the end of the license and driving challenges, you do get prize cars. That was at launch, and they did that right. They should have made prize cars for GT League. I don't know why they didn't. I feel like that's one of the few mistakes GT Sport made. Because that takes away all the incentive of playing the challenges. If you have low prize money, why drive? There's two MX-5 challenges, the beginner and the amateur version, but you don't get prize cars. It's just prize money and how tricky the opponents are. So, kilometers, miles. It's like basically driving 10 to 20 minutes. 10 laps at a race is all you need, really. 8 to 10 laps at a track. That's all it takes to get the daily marathon. I think Horizon 5 will be good like Horizon 1. I think it will be much better than Horizon 4, actually. I'm optimistic about that, but Horizon 1 is kind of a completely different game and experience to everything else. Because that one gave you an actual plot, objectives, boss races, which never came back. Motivation. The soundtrack was one of the best in any Forza game. Horizon's definitely taken the approach of get like everything kind of like poppy and appeal to the masses rather than the people who love cars and racing. And it does a great job at getting the public attention. So Horizon 5 I'm sure will continue what Horizon 4 does well. But I don't know. I feel like something like GTA 5 did a great job with post-launch content, but then it has its own issues with its economy. Forza Horizon 1 would be maybe a perfect game if it had a fully open world. That was like one of the few downsides, was because of the limitations of the Xbox 360. You could pretty much only go on the roads. You couldn't like fully explore the map like you could in the Xbox One games. The roads were great though, but that's just a hardware limitation. I feel like if it got remade and they let you drive around the whole map, but kept like the plot and you know, even like keep the 2012 car list. Don't update the car lists. Give us all the DLC. The other thing Horizon 1 had, which was again another plague of the Xbox 360 era, was all the paid DLC. And actually Horizon is still guilty of that. Horizon 5 has a car pass, a VIP pass, an expansion pass, the Ultimate Edition, that's $100. They still do that. And what I didn't understand with Horizon 4 is they did that model, and then eventually started adding cars for free, and great cars for free at that. And then they just suddenly brought that back. They're going to charge for DLC for the first year of Horizon 5. And then not many people are really going to care about the DLC cars anymore because they'll keep just adding updates with the new hottest cars. And the DLC cars will be forgotten. And you know what's weird is like with Horizon 3, when the game was getting delisted, they put the game and DLC heavily on sale, but in my opinion they should have just made it outright free. Because now you can never get that DLC again unless you already own it. Or you have a modified version of the game. But that's piracy, so I don't know. Huge moral question on that. Another case of the AI slowly catching up again at the very end. But the Viper has held them off pretty well. Prototypes. I mean, there's a big gap on the map compared to the rest of the opponents, but that's just arcade mode for you. Races are kind of boring. This is just for progression and percent. So, there you go. Spicy chips. Nice. Do I like the Mexico location? Yeah, I think it looks beautiful. It will look beautiful. There'll definitely be a lot to explore, and people will learn a lot about the geography around the area. They push towards Game Pass, and you know what that is? You know why? Casual audience. It's not a coincidence, guys. Game Pass is meant for the casual audience to play any game they want and treat it like a Spotify subscription. And it's a great model for that group. Let's actually switch up. Let's drive an A-Class car, and since it's a Laguna Seca, I'm actually going to drive the Corvette. Let's drive a black Corvette. But yeah, Game Pass, great deal, great value, but you never own the games. And as someone who collects like video games and prefers the physical versions, I don't really want to do Game Pass. Yeah, it will probably be more expensive, but as this stream proves, I love going back to my old games that I enjoyed and, like, you know, reliving the memories. We're just going to do a big send to first place. That was messy. So yeah, some Lotuses. A lot of Lotuses, actually. 3 of them. TVRs. Yeah, just Lotus and TVRs. This is all British cars at Laguna Seca. And here we are in Corvette. You'd think we get a Viper in here or something, but nope. Or a Mustang. Yeah, I don't really follow A9 that much anymore. I mean, I'm still in the Discord servers and everything, so I still like kind of am sort of aware of what's happening, and I always keep tabs on like what's going on in Asphalt 8, for instance. But man, and Nintendo Switch OLED. I'm paying attention to the chat and not the road, which is not helping me to catch up to the Griffith. Yeah, Nintendo Switch quote. Oh, big Spinalla. Huge Spinalla. Massive Spinalla for the Tuscan. But he actually doesn't fully wipe out. Uh-oh, Griffith's going off. And he just totally cheeses that corner. So, yeah, the Switch Pro, if you will, got revealed. It's the Switch OLED. And it is the bare minimum of an upgrade for the Switch. I wouldn't even say it's a bare minimum. That's an insult. It's what the first Switch should have had when it came out. But you know what the difference is? It's got a better screen, same battery life, Ethernet adapter, 2 USB ports. Oh man, you gotta get the upgrade for those USB ports. 300. Isn't it like $350 for 2 USB ports? No performance upgrade. No exclusive games. Yeah, here's Spinella. Rulu's here. Welcome. Yeah. No game upgrades. No 4K. It's still a 720p screen, by the way. Even though it's OLED, it is 720. $350 for 720. Same Joy-Cons, no enhancement. The charging deck is more modern, I guess. Tuscan does not wipe out that time. The Griffith has an off, and let's see if I can get a pass going. I do. Down the straight. Very nice. Yeah, 720p in 2021. Like, dude, Gran Turismo 4 had a better resolution in 2005 than Nintendo Switch, than the Switch's screen. 16 years after GT4 came out, and it still does better than the Switch. So, there you go. You maxed out your McLaren F1LM. Watch it get replaced in the next update. That's like a clear warning that it's on the way out. So, enjoy the car while it's nice. Oh yeah, you got the new kickstand. Woohoo. As if, you know, people didn't already have third-party kickstands and whatnot. Like, who actually plays the Switch on tabletop mode? I want to know. Any Switch owners here, do you ever play tabletop mode? I get the appeals if you're portable and, like, let's say you're at like your grandma's house or something and you brought your Switch, you could play it on the table. Would you ever actually do that? Like, I feel like handheld mode is just more comfortable. You could play it on your bed or your couch or at the table. The only way I could see justifying playing on the kickstand mode is if you're if you're on the go and you need to use the Joy-Cons for something like Mario Odyssey, or if you're playing with friends. But at that point, if you're with your friends, don't you guys have access to a TV? So then just play the Switch docked. So I pretty much only use my Switch in the docked mode on my TV. Sometimes I pop it out to show you guys, and I treat it like, you know, a handheld system. The exclusives are great. I give it that. I haven't played Breath of the Wild as much since I was at college, but it is a great game. Mario Odyssey, Smash Bros. Ultimate, great experiences. I don't think Goodwood is going to affect my viewers that much. I don't think I'd get copyright claimed. That'd be funny if I did, though. Kickstand in an airplane? Perhaps, but the Switch has so... its battery life, like, here's the thing. Hope you have a charger with you. Or an outlet, because that battery's gonna drain in 3 hours. Maybe less if you've had it for a while. Griffith just keeps going off. That Tuscan is catching up now. You watch Goodwood instead. My stream will be around. Goodwood only happens once a year. I want to go there. Like, go to the UK and go to the Festival of Speed. I think Lando and Ricardo are there to represent McLaren, actually. That'd be a fun time, though. And I want to travel again. Hopefully, like, everything like gets sorted out in the next year or so. Because I want to go see F1. I want to go see Italy and Maranello, UK, Germany, just a bunch of Europe, a bunch of other countries. Try the food. The Ford Puma Rally 1 Hybrid. I have not seen it. So last lap, don't mess up the corkscrew. We got the Tuscan right behind. Oh man, he's going for a move. Hold off on that corner. Around the final corner. Imagine a stable Supra. So all the Lotuses finish in the back, TVRs finish in the front. Interesting how the gap spread is. The Tuscan has an i6. Oh, that's a nice little quirk. Good old Supra. Soup. So what is that, like 2 races to go in arcade? Yeah, Rome and Tahiti. A road and a rally. Now Rome would be good for an Italian car. I don't think we have any here that I can use. I don't want to do class C. I think there's an Alfa Romeo in class C. Yes. But it's so slow. I don't want to do 5 laps with it. Do we have an Opel here? Or not Opel, I don't think we have any Italian race cars in the game besides the Zonda. But we do have our GT300 cars that I've not touched in a while. Let's drive the MRS. Let's drive a GT300 car around Rome. Because why not? There's no like series in career mode for the GT300 cars anyway. But I wonder what the opponents are. Rally cars. That makes sense. You wouldn't want to put them against GT500. What's up, Leon? No 22B here. There is the 22B road car in this game. Oh man, the other MRS is giving me problems. This was the only GTPS2 game you ever played. Well, you definitely had a good time, I imagine. I did when I was a kid. Australia Grand Prix has been cancelled. I saw that. Yeah, that's a huge bummer because the rest of the like races so far have gone without that many issues. Yeah, Canada and Singapore got cancelled, but it seems like all the races outside of Europe are having issues. Europe and the Middle East are the only ones who seem to be able to get races going. I hope they could still race in like North America, like the US and Mexico and Brazil. And then also the Japanese Grand Prix is in questions. Australia's on lockdown, yeah. Still a long way to go on the vaccine rollout. And then if it's even effective, there's stuff like the Delta variant and I think the Lambda variant now is a thing. That's a weird corner. Can we full throttle this? Yes. We're kind of running away with this race. The MRS is maybe a bit overpowered. You think this car's ugly? I don't think it's bad. I like the front. The back, yeah, a lot to be desired. But I always liked the out-of-backs livery as a kid. The Arta NSX, one of my favorite cars from racing games. You variant, oh man. We're all gonna die, aren't we? So, I'd rather have it completed Gran Turismo 3 before that happens. Whoa. Big lift. We're still going. Yeah, it's weird. In Illinois, it's basically back to normal. There's no more like capacity limits. Most places don't require a mask now. And some places I went to, some stores completely just took the sign off and it's living like it's 2019. And restaurants are back, but everything price-wise skyrocketed. Price of food, price of stuff. And some restaurants sadly got massive decrease in quality. Some of my favorite restaurants I used to go to as a kid are no longer good. They've gotten too expensive and their quality is, even dine-in is not as good. Yeah, you won't let a virus named after a beer take you down. But if it's named after a Pokemon, then maybe. Yeah, when I got the vaccine, the second shot, I felt tired for one day, but that was pretty much it. I think feeling sick for 2 days of your life is not as bad as getting the virus and then having permanent lung damage or any other side effects that you read that are pretty scary. Yeah, I think most of us really like the racing game genre here. I grew up with it and I've never disliked it. I had brief stints where I played a lot of other games, but in the end you always come back to the comfort food. I'd say Gran Turismo 3 is a comfort food game. You go here to experience good times, and that's exactly what you get. Alright, final corner. Kind of a quiet race. The AI didn't really step up on the last lap. The new Peugeot Le Mans car, yeah, it's gorgeous. Hopefully it does well in competition. Another 7 minutes. The rally cars are way back. Kind of as expected. Get those replay shots going. Alright, so one more race in arcade mode, and then we can move on to championships. We're doing another event. I don't know, we could do a multitude of championships and stuff. Money won't be that much of an issue in Amateur League. I mean, we'll have to buy stuff, but it could be a lot less strict. Back to rally. I think... Give it the 206. Normally I didn't like this car and I still don't really love its looks, but I feel like this track is a good it's a good track for it. We got the Citroen front wheel drive car. Oh man, look at how much wheel spin he gets. Just because of front wheel drive. That's just unfair. But yes, 2 French cars in French Polynesia. Yeah, I think racing games go too much for the numbers. They want to have the biggest car list, the best graphics. They want to be the next generation of racing, and it doesn't really... Nobody really strives to make their games fun. They strive to make their games hit check marks and check boxes. They want to get as many sales as possible. You know what's a perfect example is Grid 2019. I remember seeing all the trailers and social media hype that, oh, Grid is back, it's going to be just as good, you can relive it, it's going to be the future of racing. It releases to practically zero fanfare, very average reviews. A couple YouTubers simped over it. And the game has basically lost the time, and you can get it now for like $7 at GameStop. Even though it just came out 2 years ago. That's a game that is soulless. Gran Turismo 2 and 4, in my opinion, are some of the greatest driving games of all time. That's just because of the quality of what Polyphony did to their games. They really wanted to know, you know, all the intricacies of the vehicle. They would, you'd have variants of cars, you know, like, you know, there's always the meme of, oh, there's 20 MX-5s, but really every MX-5 is different, and they went through the cars and modeled each and every one of them. And they do a great job at that. You'll see the minor differences in cars, and you'll get to like kind of get attached to your vehicles in your garage and really experience it. And one of the favorite things about GT is you make the experience. You make your own experience. You can make the game as hard as you want to be. And I said this before. As a kid, you know, it was awesome to go into a Scudo with 1,800 horsepower. That's right, 1,800 horsepower. And go in, absolutely blitz every competition, and as a kid you think that's awesome. And now when I'm older, it's like, well, yeah, let's do more of a challenge. And I still get different type of enjoyment, but I still really, really enjoy this game. These races are a little dull, but, you know, this is a perfect game to just relax to. I turn my brain off when I'm doing these easy races, and then when we do the harder races, you know, you focus and you try to get good laps in. The license tests are a perfect challenge, so it's a great balance of what you want to do. How are things in America? COVID-wise, they're interesting. I think the CDC just announced like yesterday or a couple days ago that schools do not need to require masks. Like, it's okay for teachers and students to not wear masks if they're vaccinated. So I think that means my old university is going to go fully back to normal. Which, bummer, because I just left it. But, that's just how the way it goes, and everyone's kind of forgetting about it. There are other issues America has that probably don't need to get into, especially in a Gran Turismo video, because this will eventually end up in the VOD. But everyone's getting vaccinated. Everyone that wants a vaccine can get it. We're in that spot. I've been fully vaccinated for over 2 months, and yeah, it's nice. I don't worry as much if I go out and see friends or go out to eat or go to a store. You know, just gonna be smart. Be smart about what you do. Don't spit in people's mouths, or, you know, avoid people who are sick. I do not want to get into, do not get into politics, guys. Just letting you guys know, fair warning. Cut the politics talk off right now, so. Puto 206 on Tahiti. That's right, Snatato. But maybe it's not in my, I'm not in that sort of position to debate that sort of stuff. I don't know, I feel like that's just natural of social media to kind of create bubbles and echo chambers and witch hunting, and you guys know what I'm talking about. But I don't think nobody ever comes out of political discussions satisfied. Nobody does. So let's just drop it and talk about we just completed the race. Pretty easy win. Let's wait for the Citroen to finish. Am I planning for F1 2021? I don't know. I don't know if I want to get it. It looks good. I just don't trust EA to get it right. So we don't get a prize car for clearing Area B, but we do get more areas that we'll come back to eventually. And just to verify, we have cleared the area, so now there's 6 more tracks that we will explore later on. This one's going to be very interesting. I wonder if I'll get a wheelie car by then. Okay, Isla discussion. It all comes back to Isla. Or, you know what? I didn't mean to do that. Let's go right back into arcade mode and verify that we've gotten everything. The arcade car unlock are technically prize cars, yes. Let's do that. But yeah, just to double check. Area B, totally done. Let me peek at what prize cars we do have available. Well, not prize cars, but you know what I mean. Class C, nothing. Class B, Audi TT, that's new. Anything in A? Nope. Anything in S? I think that was there already. And I don't think you get any rally unlocks. Oh, the Lancia Delta. We have the Lancia Delta here. So, cool. We'll eventually use that. Alright then. Well, that is the end of the segment. Let's just go to our progress to kind of see where that jumps us up. %25.1%. Already a quarter of the way through, and we're 12 hours in, so pretty nice. And that's the segment. Sadly, progress will not always be like that. It's not going to take 50 hours. Can I buy an R32? Maybe. We'll see. I might actually get it in a prize car at some point, I think. Alright, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. We are back. Real Racing 3 is a free-to-play game. So, there you go. Alright, so, let's continue. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think EA really butchers their console games. Although supposedly Need for Speed Heat wasn't that bad. I don't know. You know, F1 2020's got, let me show you this. We're gonna switch to our PC screen for a second. Wrong one. But you know what? Screw it. Let's just do this one. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. So this is article F1.com. That's in F1 2021. Drivers now have a driver rating card. And, you know, it's got rating with numbers, and people have been, like, screaming at their favorite driver is underrated or overrated or whatnot. There you go. But you know what this looks just like? It looks just like a FIFA Ultimate Team card. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But look at that. It looks just like a FIFA Ultimate Team card. It's got a rating. It's got 6 categories. And they're literally throwing that in there. This is, I think, the first game to do that. So, it's, there you go. I'm just saying, both games are run by EA. So, you've all heard about what FIFA Ultimate Team does, especially with monetization. Don't tell me that F1 Ultimate Team isn't coming. It might. So, there's my thought on F1 2021. I think the gameplay will be good, but if they throw that sort of monetization in there, that will murder the series. So, we have a new license, and like I said, it's 11 a.m. I do have a little bit more time. The next logical step would be to finish off the Beginner League, which is just doing the GT World Championship. It's 10 races, but these are pretty short. We could do the more spicy, you know, regional championships, but I think we get a good prize car from the World Championships that we can do the Japanese Championship eventually. American Championship has its own little... You know what? I'm going to show you guys... I was going to save this for when we actually do the series, but you know how there's the Rome Circuit GT40 meme where GT40 is out of place because it's in overpowered, too much horsepower? American Championship, what's much less talked about is this championship. There's one car in this. One car. Of course, the second I do the preview, it doesn't show it. The second I try the preview, it doesn't do it. There's one car in here. Don't know if you can see it, but there's a Corvette C5, C5R, just in the middle of everything. And it's like, oh, it's just gonna be held back. No, it's not held back. It shoots right off to the front, into the distance. The Shelby Cobra is gonna be quick, yeah, but a C5R, and it's being held back for the Viper. Once it gets a passing opportunity, look at this. It just goes back, and off it goes. Off it goes. Good luck catching that thing. So, it's a great challenge to try and beat it. But this is the this is Rome Circuit GT40 V2. And yeah, Viper falls back eventually to the other AI, which are, you know, regular American cars. But here's a freaking C5R race car, and this is the only one. There's no Viper race car in here, or Camaro race car. It's just the C5R that ends up in here, which is incredibly stupid. Absolutely incredibly stupid. So that'll be a fun challenge when we get to it, and it'll probably happen next week. But for now, here's what the GT World Championship is, and you know, big prize money there. Here's what the series looks like if you do the race preview. We have the capacity. We don't even need to purchase a car for this series. It's all rally cars. All of them are rally cars. Which is so weird. These cameras are so weird, but I think it is 100% rally cars. Let me just try to count. There's an Evo, Subis. Yeah. It's a rally car championship. So, F8 suggested I complete Beginner League, and since we have the capacity to do it, I think we should. So, who knows? Anyway, I think we saved the game, but let me just double save so that before we get into this. Yeah. So, let's go. Alright, so, next part of our playthrough, and we're in the garage because we're going to switch cars. We got a rally car recently, and we're finally going to be able to just immediately use it, so, nice. Let me check what tires I have on this car, because we might need tires. We get automatically a set of medium compound tires, which is great. Medium tires, perfect. And, you know what? I think we can try to do this bone stock. We're going to try and do this series bone stock. We have one series left in the Beginner League, and it is the GT World Championship. There is the Altezza race that I could clean up, but since you already completed it, it counts as a gold trophy. Finishing this series would complete the Beginner League, so there we go. This is the Gran Turismo World Championship. Fired with an A license. Nice prize money, no limits, but all the competition is rally cars. And it's a 10 race series, the longest series so far, but thankfully the races are pretty short, so we should be able to clear this in one shot. But yes, we won the Evo Rally car from the Evolution meeting in Amateur League, because we're required to be licensed. And look at that. We got a duplicate, and we actually have a GT300 car here. So, no 22B, so sorry Snowtato. I could reset and try for it. But, yeah, put the medium tires on. Yes, Evo in the race. Pepe hands. An Escort, Corolla, Citroen, and a Sylvia. So, let's just get right into it and see how it is. If they did upgrade, then I might be screwed, but let's see. We're in bone stock. So, 2 laps per race, which is pretty good. Gonna be short races. And yeah, we're in a bone stock car. I think our biggest opponent is gonna be the Sylvia. Whoa, big punt. Yeah, this should be easy. We don't need upgrades or not even an oil change. This will be a good scrap though between the Sylvia. So you know what, we do need an opponent to keep us on our feet. But we make the move around the outside pretty easily. And just hold. Looks like actually we were pulling away from Sylvia. But yeah, just like that beginner league race we did, or not beginner league, that arcade race we did where we drove the MRS. Same opponents. This is basically rallycross. We are driving a street circuit. The GT40. GT40 is in this game, but we haven't reached a series that uses it yet. Yeah, gold currency is really tricky in Real Racing 3 because a lot of cars require it to get through and unlock the car. And you need to be careful with your gold spending. Pretty easy race. This is probably going to be an easy championship, but we're in a bone stock rally car. Not much we can do. I don't think you can add ballast in this game. We are in the medium tires, which is maybe a little unfair, but they're the stock tires. Yeah, serving cost. It has the whole thing where you have to wait, just like every mobile game that has a fuel system. So the Citroen, which I thought would struggle with front-wheel drive, is actually held on to third place. So pretty good. So here's where we are in the championship. 10 points. There's now 100 points possible instead of what's it, 50. I can't do the stupid math. And yeah, 10,000 credits. We're gonna get a nice amount of money. Very nice amount of money from this series. So we can just keep going right along. So, Super Speedway, 4 laps, gonna be a really short race. F1 2021 seems sus because of Game Pass. I mean, it's a sports game. F1 is becoming basically the FIFA or NBA 2K or Madden of the genre. New games every year. The tracks are the same for the most part. The cars drive the same for the most part. The drivers are different for the most part. Mercedes is still Hamilton and Bottas for this game. In fact, in F1 2017, the Mercedes driver lineup is exactly the same. So, there you go. But then you can make driver transfers and stuff in F1 2021 anyway, so you can make your own grid. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Loeb drove the Citroen for most of his career, right? So, top of 6 gear. Kind of a quiet race. Didn't the Peugeot 206 that's in this game win the WRC championship in the previous year? Yeah, this is obviously Tommy Mackinnon's car because it has Tommy on the back. I'm pretty sure this was the Marlboro logo though originally, right? They just swapped it out for video game reasons. Shreyas is here. I thought the 206 was the 2000 version. Or is it the 98 version in this game? So much lore behind every car, and just like that, race is done. That was a quick one. Only like 3 minutes, not even 2 minutes 50 seconds. You're like, we're still going. We still got 8 races to go in this championship, and we're going through it pretty fast. The 206 2000 was gray. Then it became silver and red. So, point standings pretty much doubled. Sylvia placed the second. Sylvia's going to be probably a clean second place. Look at that, 98,000. Next race should give us 100 grand. See you, Games X. Yeah, that's Fighting Falcon. That's what I feel like. I feel like the gameplay should be really good, but I don't trust EA to get this right. Which is sad, because I want the game to be good. You watch GT Sport? Nice. GT Sport. I really like it. There are people who don't like it, but I think it's a good game. Yeah, Asphyxia was similar to that for Racing 3, where the car had, I can't speak. The game had cars that were very cheap, easy to unlock, upgrades were cheap, and they just inflated everything. So now we got second place. Lock down the Sylvia, and just, pick up some slipstream and see what we can do with them. Brakes are very nice. The medium tires really help. Yeah, Peugeot, people don't really talk about Peugeot as a brand that much. They're kind of in the shadow. I know they might be big in France, but isn't like Renault the biggest manufacturer in France anyway? They're like the Toyota. I mean, I think they're partnered with Nissan, right? So that's what everybody knows in France. Yeah, Peugeot was successful in Le Mans and Rally. Even I think they had a stint in Formula 1 too, but they weren't particularly known. They did engines, I think, for a couple seasons in the 90s. I think McLaren actually ran with them for one season. I mean, game damage is tough in a mobile game, so, you know, every day just be thankful it's not Project Cars Go. I saw a video from Don Joan's song, and he used a clip from Project Cars Go, and I thought, that looks disgusting. I mean, the video is fine, but, like, just Project Cars Go as a game just looks nasty. It doesn't even look fun to play. It just looks like something you throw in front of a 4-year-old and he wouldn't even like it. You know what I played when I was 4? Gran Turismo 3. My parents have pictures of me that was sitting in like this little hamper, and I was playing Gran Turismo 3 on with PS2. And the big TV downstairs, and those were good times. Good times. So another easy win, another short race. We are blazing through this championship. 30 points. We might actually do this in like 45 minutes. We might actually have time for another series. That's a good thumbnail shot. Project Cars Go, yeah. I mean, enough's been said about it, but I mean, it's fun to rip on it because they went through with it and thought all the way up to release, like, yeah, this is a great idea. Yeah, Renault was in the Group B era. I mean, France, really big in the rally scene in general. Project Cars 3 be like an endless runner, but you don't even control the dude. Forza Street is also a pretty terrible game. Nobody talks about Forza Street because it's not a good game. It's just like, oh, tap when you see it. Like, anyone can make a game like that. They just have the lights thing in the cars. Who, Loeb? Is Loeb retiring? I mean, he's had a pretty long career. It's just weird that all the racing drivers that I grew up with are towards the end of their career. And we have the new generation of Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Russell in Formula 1, and then all the other drivers in like bike racing, rally. Hold it. We're just going for style points there. Hey, can the Citroen pass the Sylvia? That'd be cool for the championship. I don't think he will, but yeah. I'm not on Team Verstappen. I'm not on Team Hamilton either, but it's just weird watching this season. You guys go to like Formula Dank, or really any social media thread. Hamilton is so hated now. I don't remember him ever getting as much hate as he does now when he's losing. That's the thing is, like, I thought people were salty with him because he won all the time. I was salty because he was beating Seb, but I never doubted like his abilities. But now everyone's like doubting his whole career, and it's like, jeez. And they're like saying, oh, he deserves to get stomped on by Max. It's like, guys, just can we just like, you know, enjoy a good season? We might have the best Formula 1 season in years, and so toxic. So toxic. People talk about F1 because F1's the biggest sport. It's got a huge following now. They've done a really good job with getting attention on social media. I just realized we're above 100,000 credits now. That was totally a big moment that I just kind of missed. So there we go. Tuna Seca. Yeah, rally's always fascinating. Because it's just you and the track. Lando got another podium, yep. He's probably the biggest surprise of the year for many. We all know he was good, but how consistent he's been for the first 9 races is, like, actually unbelievable. I think he's only had one bad race, which was Spain. But still, he even scored points there. His teammate fails to score points when he makes the podium sometimes. But the fact that he's beating Bottas and right there up with Checo as well, like, it's crazy. What a season he's having. I'd say it actually might be, at the moment, I'm probably going to jinx it for the next race, but at the moment, it's one of the best midfield driver seasons ever. See, I'm a bit cynical, and I think George Russell is going to get into Mercedes just when Mercedes drops the ball on regulations. I don't know why, but with his luck, something like that would definitely happen. I'd watch Williams become like the dominant force they were in the 90s and have Nicholas Latifi or Bottas become a champion. And Mercedes are suddenly in the back, failing to score points. That would be a crazy timeline. Who knows, though? Supposedly it was leaked that Russell's getting signed. That Russell already signed a deal, and it's just going to be announced next week. So by the time I'm streaming again, it might already happen. We'll see. This track used to be Monster Raceway, yep. That was just the sponsor, though. Ooh, to Sylvia. Going for a move on the corkscrew. He's got better traction, I bet. Yeah, Ocon got unlucky. He was in Mercedes too early. And then when he was the reserve driver in 2019, he never got his chance. He could have driven in Germany 2019. Imagine. Probably could have picked up a huge result for Mercedes considering how bad they ended up doing in that race. Who knows? He got his dream podium finish though in the Renault last year. Speaking of which, we are in a clean sweep right now, on our way to one. We now have a 2-race gap. Nice prize money. I'm actually going to save my game midway through the championship just in case we have any issues. But I'm in this. I like this, so we're going to lock it down. Nigel Mansell, yeah, one of the legends. Could have won more titles than what he did end up accomplishing. But yeah, his stats are crazy too. It's just he was in the era of Senna and Prost. And, you know, when you have those titans around, you know, the winners go anywhere. Mansell could have won 86, 87, 91. He won 92. If he stayed for another year, he would have won 93. You know, we were talking about potentially 4 or 5 championships he could have had, and 3 that he narrowly missed out on. Like, if you look at his 1991 season, everyone remembers Senna for how good he did, but Mansell, every race he finished, it was in the top 2. And he was only a couple of wins off from beating Senna. So, is Fearum streaming today? I didn't know that. Nice corner. That we got a 7 down. We're a master at that right-hander. He's now live. Jim Clark, yeah, he was a legend. I never got to see him race, obviously. Same thing with Mansell or Schumacher, Senna, but the stories you hear are always great. I wish we had replays of Clark's races, but it was before broadcasting. Same thing with Fangio. One of the best of all time, but you never get to see his replays or anything like that. Just articles. If you want a Fearum stream? Alright, thank you all for watching. We're going to continue doing this championship. So, stick around, double monitor, or watch Fearum. Basically 3 choices. But tell him I said hi. Tell Fearum I say hi. David Coulthard. He had a nice career, plenty of wins, maybe even a title challenge in 2001, sort of. He finished 2nd. So that's why I say sort of. He never really looked in control of the championship ever. He did lead it in 2003 and 1997, I think, because he won the opening races of those seasons. And he helped McLaren to 2 constructors, or 1 constructor's title, that's right, he didn't win 99. So, he helped him win a constructor's title though, which, that's probably the best you can do. Yeah. I am obviously playing GT3, so I prefer that. And since we're already midway through a championship, I don't wanna drop this and pick this back up. It's a short. They're short races anyway, so we can just finish this. We'll be done in like 20 minutes. And then after that, I don't know. Getting a little hungry. But that's it. Race 6. Done and dusted. Easy peasy. Another 10 points. That puts us at 60. 24 points ahead of the Sylvia. I think the next race will almost have it guaranteed. Almost. If the Sylvia has a bad finish, then there might be a chance that goes. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom again because I drank water. I'll be right back. I am back. So you say Seb could have been a 5-time championship, but he won 2012. He has 4. I argue Seb could have been a 7-time championship if he had his if he had everything go to plan. Because 2009 he was actually in the Trail Challenge and he narrowly missed out because his first part of the season he had a lot of bad luck. He had a crash in Australia, spin out in Malaysia, and he picked up a win in China early on, but he lost a bunch of points to Braun and Button, and then when he started picking up all those wins in the second half of the year, it wasn't enough. He could have won 2009, then he won 2010 and 13, so there's that from his Red Bull stint. And then for Ferrari, obviously there's 17 and 18. It's weird to think about 2017 and 2018, but especially 2017, sort of. But the thing is, Red Bull is in a similar spot to Ferrari from 2017, but not really if you think about it. Ferrari had a great car, and some argue it was even a better car than Mercedes, but Mercedes never looked like they were struggling, like genuinely struggling. Even in 2018, when Seb had the lead to both championships after the British Grand Prix, Mercedes never looked like they were powerless. There were tracks that you knew would be Mercedes dominant, and you knew that would be Ferrari preferred. And then there was Red Bull to take away points from both teams, occasionally. And eventually Mercedes outdeveloped Ferrari, got the upper hand, pressured Seb into making more mistakes, and that was the end of it. Red Bull this year seemed to have a perfect team. Their car works on virtually every single track. I think you can make a case that Red Bull could have won every single race this year. They've won 5 in a row. They have 6 wins this year? Yeah, they have 6 wins this year so far. But it's going to be more. And there's been 9 races. I argue they could have won all 9 races up to this point. If you say Seb could have won more races in 2017-2018, I'd say Red Bull could have won all 9. Maybe Portugal least likely, but Bahrain was due to one pass. Spain was due to getting caught out on strategy. And Portugal was Verstappen had the lead, but I think he made a mistake and let Hamilton in DRS, and then he ran off. But I'd say Red Bull definitely, if things played out a little bit differently, they could have had 8 out of 9 wins, and we'd be having a different conversation. We'd be talking about Red Bull domination. And Hamilton needed a lot more. I think he was some like 80 points ahead of Seb by the end of the year. Around that point. It was more than just the DNF. The lead changed after the Italian Grand Prix, and then Seb had 2 DNFs and a mechanical failure in qualifying. So he dropped some like 60 points, somewhere around that, to Hamilton in that time frame. And he never really caught up. He had good finishes, but just never made it. Red Bull. So I find it amusing. Like, I thought, like, you know, having a totally different winner would be cool, but in all honesty, not really. Because Verstappen right now is in what Hamilton has been doing basically the last multiple years, which is just qualify at the front, don't worry about his car, no competition, manage his tires, manage his engine, set the fastest lap, race done, race win. And Hamilton's on the opposite end, fighting a McLaren and then trying to push the engine, push the tires, throw different things at strategy-wise. So 70 points, but we don't have the championship guaranteed, actually. We need to finish the next race. Yeah. I would prefer... Like, here's the thing. I would rather have a championship where Hamilton wins, but it's closely fought to the very end of the last race with another team, like Max, than have Max Verstappen dominate the season and win with, like, 5 races to go. What do you guys think? If you're given that choice, where it's an extremely close championship, it's the very last race, maybe last lap pass, and Lewis wins it, or Max wins it, but with many races to go in pretty dominant fashion. The internet has mixed opinions on that. But, in my opinion, there's nobody who should be handed a championship. Like, you know how, at the end of the last race in Austria, George Russell got robbed by Alonso for a point. Renault, or Alpine's Twitter, got absolutely, like, blamed, roasted, spun around, grilled for not letting George Russell have the points. And someone I saw, a highly liked and upvoted comment was, Alonso has 1,800 points and Russell has 0. Let him have the point. First off, that's wrong. Russell has 3 points per Mercedes. So, it's not like he never scored a point in his life. And second of all, the whole point of racing is not to hand out points. Nobody hands out a position because they felt bad for a driver, unless, like, you know, it's your teammate. But at the end of the day, you're racing for your team. If you let go because you feel bad about a driver from a rival team, that's not going to make your fans happy, because you're fighting. Like, think of Alpine's situation. You're fighting Aston Martin and AlphaTauri for 5th place, and that's millions of dollars in prize money. And, you know, besides that, Alonso is basically fighting Seb for the championship position, probably like 10th place, I imagine. Seb and Gasly. And every point counts in the midfield. And getting that 1 point could be the difference between millions of dollars. And if Russell was handed a 10th place point because a driver refused to pressure him and try to pass, then what does that mean for his point? If Russell scores 10th place and gets a point because he genuinely earned it and had an amazing drive and held off with a great defense, then yeah, that would be awesome. That's a deserved, well-deserved point in position. But if you're given the easy road, then why doesn't everybody just park to the side of the road and let, I don't know, Roman Grosjean win one race because he never got to win? That never happens, because this is racing. Racing is all about trying to extract the best performance from yourself and your car. This is not a charity. This is a competition. So, that's my hot take. But it shouldn't really be a hot take. Nobody deserves to win. Yeah, people can get robbed all the time. Russell got robbed of a point. Charles Leclerc got robbed from his engine cutting out in Bahrain 2019, but nobody deserves to be handed points. Anyway, that being said, we got a race win, 80 points. Now we have guaranteed a championship win. Yeah, have you ever watched the movie Cars? Winning isn't everything. Racing's a giant family fraternity. Do the Vin Diesel meme, but at the end of the day, it's a competition. It's sports. There are symbolic things you can do in competition in many sports, but Where do you draw the line? Like, think of, like, maybe, what's a good example I could think of? This is gonna be far-fetched because maybe not many of you watch NFL, but think of, like, Drew Brees, who recently, like, played his last game for the Saints. He got blown out in a loss. Nobody lets him win because it's his last season. He has to fight for it. How about Henrik Lundqvist from the New York Rangers? When he finally got to the Stanley Cup Finals, after so many years of trying, he got obliterated by Los Angeles that year in the finals. And it was like, oh, King Henrik deserved a cup. Well, nobody deserves a cup. Nobody makes it all the way to the finals and is like, oh, but Henrik Lundqvist is here. We gotta let him win so we can have a cup. No. The Kings, Los Angeles Kings, won the Stanley Cup in 2012, and they came in 2014 with the opportunity to beat Lundqvist and deny him a cup, and they stomped it. Absolutely stomped it. And the same thing happened with Carey Price this week for the Montreal Canadiens. First time in a Stanley Cup after many years of his career, probably his last good year to get a cup run. And Tampa comes in and almost sweeps the team, but pretty much an entire pounding. So, in sports, you can make gestures, but when it's a competition, you don't hold back, because people train for this stuff their whole life. And there's more implications than just getting the result. Meanwhile, I get the 4th place result by making the pass of Sylvia. But in the movie Cars, like, at the end, and I guess massive spoiler 15 years later if you haven't seen the movie, but, you know, at the end where Lightning McQueen's about to win the Piston Cup, and the Charger Daytona, I forget the guy's name, like, King something, I don't remember his name, but, he crashes, has a massive wreck, you know, career ending, I guess, in the Cars world, and the Queen forfeits the win, not because he wanted to let, Chick Hick win, but because he wanted to help his friend in other car. Did I just choke the win? With a wall bonk? Ooh, I actually might lose this one. Clean sweep? Is a clean sweep at jeopardy? Oh no. Oh no. Oops. Oh no. Oh, just barely. I messed that up. Oh man, that was a choke. I mean, I still won the championship, but that was a choke. Big choke there. Youch. So no clean sweep for me. Oopsie. I mean, we already guaranteed the championship, so only 2,000 credits for that. Well, race 9. Let's just save the game. Who cares much? I'm not going to reset for that. But I'm saving the game in case we need to prize car cycle. I don't think we need to. I don't want to prize car cycle. Big rip though. I actually choked that one. That should have been an easy race. Mercedes, look what they need to make a fraction of her power. It would be cruel if Mercedes just came back and absolutely stomped the rest of the year and just obliterated Red Bull just when they give them hope. But I feel like that's not the case this year. I don't think they could pull that off 3 years. They pulled it off against Ferrari twice in a row, but I don't think they could pull it off against Red Bull. Alright, well, last race. I don't think the cars magically upgraded themselves between championship races, but I don't know. Maybe the AI got stronger. Oh, it's now 3 laps instead of 2. What do you think about Red Bull? Like, as the energy drink or the F1 scene? Because I have different thoughts. The F1 brand, yeah. I mean, they look really strong this year. I think, personally, if they lose this championship somehow, it will be one of the biggest chokes in recent F1 history. That's my thought. They seem to have the high ground. They have a car that suits every track, perfect pit stops, perfect drivers, great reliability, great straight line speed, great downforce, and they're getting the results. I'd argue they could have won every single race this year, or at the being generous, 8 out of the 9 races. But if they somehow lose this year, that's on them. Energy drink I don't really care about. I've never had a Red Bull in my life. But that's just my thought. They've actually outplayed Mercedes in most of the fields. Why was K-Mag regarded as an unsportsmanlike driver? Because he was really aggressive. He squeezed a lot of drivers. Contact always happened between him and other drivers. And he was kind of a mini jerk off track. Not as much as like Mazepin or anybody, but you know. He had his couple scuffs with Hulkenberg and Grosjean and Leclerc especially. Remember when Haas were the 4th best car and they were fighting Red Bull in 2018 for that one race in Australia? And then the pit stop thing happened and they've never been the same. Yeah. It's weird. I'm not rooting for Lewis to win this championship, but I'm also not rooting for Max either. I'm rooting for a good fight. Because, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm rooting for Seb. Even if he has no chance of winning the championship in the Aston, I'd still root for Seb every race. I also want to see Lando do well. I know it's kind of a bandwagon trait, but Lando has actually been really impressive this year. So, I always cheer for him. Ancient Lancia. Yeah, those Italians. Their smart strategies and development. Their neighbors at Maranello have an interesting history with strategy. So final lap of the championship, let's not blow it by bonking a wall. Getting screwed by rubber banding. It's weird because you can see the rubber banding. I'm holding first place, but then the second I need to repass somebody, my car's just not fast enough to keep up. I mean, Lancia's still a legendary brand. I don't think they ever really fell off. They just don't make cars anymore, right? Are they defunct or are they just done? They're just done with racing. Stellantis. And that's the championship. Too bad we couldn't clean sweep, but we could clean that up pretty easily. See, West Sylvia got one win off of me. So that should be 96 points then. How did the midfield or the other rally cars do? Who won that battle? The Lancer. The Corolla got pretty poor results across the board. That will be 10,000 credits, and we are ending off on 170,000 credits. That is actually, like, awesome. And yeah, that's the championship, so let's get our prizes. For winning the championship, we get 50,000 credits. So we went from, being in poverty a couple series ago to 220,000 credits in the bank. You'll love to see it. What's our prize card? Oh. Okay, we got another prize card. That one. That one's it. This is GT 2000 moment. Because that's the actual Evo 5. And yeah, I don't know if this is copyrighted or not. It might be. Oh well, if it is. But this is the credits. No, we didn't beat the game. We aren't done, but we just got spammed with Evos. We have completed GT3. This would be like the any percent speed run, but this is not the end. But enjoy this. This is beautiful music. Beautiful credit scene with the Supra. Quality assurance. Nice and short and sweet credits. There's a longer credits. There's a version 2. So it's not all done yet, but we are all done with this series. Besides that trial out and that race that we'll clean up. Oh, that's so annoying. But yes, we have completed Beginner League, so we got that prize. And let's take a look at our garage and look at our prizes. So we already have an Evo 6, or no, it's an Evo 4, right? I don't remember what I have. An Evo 4 and an Evo 7. Okay, so the Evo 6 is new to us in Dandelion Yellow. Almost Evo 5. But right above, we do have an actual Evo 5 in Nayaz Blue Pearl. Man, that's just staring at me in the face. No. We are not done with the game yet. There's a lot more to the game. We got the credits, but it's only 27% of the game. So, We still have plenty of GT3 to go through. But yes. Let's save the game. And let's take a look at round. First thing is, let's get an oil change. And let's clean up Trial Mountain. What's got the most horsepower? Oh yeah, I forgot. Our tuned cars. Let's just hop in the RS and see if we can whip up the Sylvia. I don't think I'll end the stream. Let's clean up the races. I got a little bit of extra time. What do you think about Horizon 5? I think it's going to be a good game. It'll be well received, but I just feel like it's going to be the same as Horizon 4. I'm still going to buy it, but I just think it will be a good game. I need to pay attention to who the opponents are. But let's see what our Evo can do. I think we got a Sylvia again as the race. I think the MRS can appear. No downforce or grip. We have the power, but not the handling. Okay, this is not gonna work. I forgot that the Evo 6 had medium tires, so we kind of need the medium tires. I just need to get back in it. We can win Trail Mountain. I only lost it because of a mistake, but since we have a fresh oil change, we should be good. Yeah, Lando's on fire. He's doing great in F1. He's having a wonderful season. And no... Hey, if Snowtato's here, you got your not 22B here. No Sylvia in this race, though. Changing to Sporticus. Yeah, Robbie Rotten. Rest in peace. So both Imprezas are here. Asphalt open world game. That could not really work on mobile. On PC it could though. has to become the meme itself, yeah, because they completely gave up. I think they're going to end up selling the team to Mazepin's dad. Easy dub. What were the results? Oh, 22B did not do well, but the prototype did. I'll take the 10,000 credits any day. So, now what? I could look at getting Alteza race done. You need more power though. I don't know, let's take a look. Let's take a look around. Here's the Japanese Championship. I'm gonna just peek around at the series and we'll kind of like see what we want to do next in the next stream. I think we're done racing for the stream, so let me save the game. But we'll kind of peek around at kind of what we want to do and how much money it will take to do it. Let's explore around a little bit. So, let's take a peek. Japanese Championship. Preview. What does the series contain? Well, road cars, but there's an NSX. So it looks like we got Skyline, Evo. Can't tell if that's a 5, but might as well be. I can't switch cars for some reason. But yeah, you got a mix of Japanese sports cars. Pretty simple. We already covered the American Championship, what it has, so. It's got the same prize money, we already know what that has. Here's the European Championship. Similar deal. Interestingly, none of these have restrictions. I do have a Destiny, and I have heard they are spying on your data now, which is always nice to hear. So that sucks. What? How is that fair, guys? Oh yeah, 206 and Zonda? Gran Turismo be like. It's not even a competition, look at that. Look at that, guys. Every other car makes sense, but Griffith, Speedster, Clio V6, the 206 and Audi TT are, yeah, they're gonna be back markers, but bro. Let's just throw a Zonda in here. Whose idea was that? See, the GT40 and Rome Circuit on Gran Turismo 2, that wasn't the only time this happened, because look at this. The Zonda. Frickin' Zonda. And yeah, it's going slow, and I believe it's just the C12, but still. Come on. Come on, guys. Ickober. So we have to watch out for that. This is the GT World Championship Part 2, which is an IB license. It's the next license, but let's see what car we will need to eventually get. I see the Lister Fister V12. It looks like there's the GT car. I see the Viper, the Lister, and JGTC. And Castro Supra. So 2 NSXs, Supra, Skyline, Lister, Viper. So that tier of cars. Touring Car Championship we won't have access to for a while, but that's just the touring cars. I think this one actually has no restrictions, oddly enough, even though the opponents are. Here's our FFFR and MR challenges. Something we need to cover. Now here's Stars and Stripes, which is basically another American series. But let's just peek at what the preview is. See, this should be the regular American Championship. You got some Camaros, a purple Camaro, a regular Corvette, and a Shelby Cobra. These cars are probably upgraded, but I mean, no C5R. See, they know how to make AI for that one. Boxer Spirit, where we finally get some boxer engines, and I like it. This time they do limit your cars, and I think I know what I want to buy there. Probably a Subi of some sort. 80s Cup, we'll need to upgrade the MX-5 for that. NA and Turbo. These are another licenses. Here's Tourist Trophy, Legend of Silver Arrow returns, Altezza Championship returns. And that's all from the A license. Everything else is IB or higher. Even the S license races make an appearance here. These challenges need IA though, so Cobra will be an issue. Yeah, and then eventually we have to think about rally and endurance, but not for now. So, okay, so basically we need a car that could beat the C5R, we need a car that could beat the Zonda, and we need a car that could keep up with the Japan cars. And also we might need to buy a race car, because let me check IB. We need a race car for the World Championship, and then we also need something for Gran Turismo All-Stars and the GT Championship. So, debating. Let's see what we have available to us. Honda NSX, expensive, but will get the job done. S2000 can probably get the job done. FDRX7 should definitely get the job done. Mitsubishi, a 3000 GT, has been on my eyes. We also have our Evo 5, but a VR4 would be nice. A little pricey though. Someone mentioned R32. It's not a bad thing, but it is 50 grand. A little expensive. Subi. We need a boxer car, so 22B is 50 grand. Everything else is like 30 grand. This one might be it. Or we could do this one, the sedan. That one might not be a bad choice. And then Toyota, of course, there's the Supras. 44,800. But then there's the SCR. Get a Subi to kill two birds with one stone. That was the Japanese car deal. I think maybe splurge on a 22B. That's what I want. I feel like I got a little bit of extra money, but let's see what our budget allows. Now, for the American Championship, we need a car that could beat both the Cobra and the C5R. I'm thinking of one of two cars. C5 or the Viper. As Ryan TT4 would call it, the Snack. But yes. The Viper is almost 80 grand, so it's pricey. But would get the job done. There's the Ford Mustang. It's not that bad. There's the Camaro SS that we do have, but I feel like that might be lacking. Used an Acura NSX. I mean, I guess you're not in the wrong. It's expensive though. There's also the Grand Sport C4, which doesn't get that much attention, but it is a good car. 330 horsepower? Nothing to write home about. 379 horsepower. I'm thinking maybe a Corvette. We could probably get pretty far with the C4 Current Sport though, I think. We just might need to upgrade it. Getting late? Yeah, we're at the end of the stream anyway. I'm just pondering on what car to get. And then as for European Championship, we will need to upgrade our Audi and our Mercedes quite a bit. So we could stick with that. But let's look around. BMW 328. Got these expensive Mercedes. Opel Speedster is an option. Roof is a boxer engine. And Volkswagen, not really there. Can you even buy the Cup cars? You can't. And even the Lupo like almost never shows up in this game ever. It's one of the most forgotten cars in this whole game. Even though it's in the dealer and you can look at the colors. Citroen, just a rally car. Peugeot, just the 206. Renault is probably just the 2 Clios, yeah. That wouldn't be that bad of a choice. Like these longer streams? Yeah, honestly, it's because my parents are out right now and I'm just a little bored. So, next weekend I am going to meet up with some friends in the afternoon, so I probably have a usual 2-hour stream. But here we're just chilling out. So here's Italy. Italy. Fiat, slow cars. They're cheap, but they're slow. How much was that Alpha? 38 grand. Wow, that's overpriced. Here's Lancia. They only have the rally car Delta. It would have been nice if they had the regular one, but oh well. Here's Pagani. 275,000. C12S we will need later in the playthrough, but I don't think we need to buy it. I think we actually win it at some point down the road. And it's a MR car V12. Gorgeous. We got UK, Aston Martin, Seb. Expensive cars though. Jag. Jags are expensive as well, especially, look at that, 780,000 for one car, XJ220. I mean, it's the XJ220, but wow. The Lister. Overpriced and I don't want to say overrated because it's really undeserved, all the hate and how messed up the car is, but it's just unfortunate car. We got Lotus, which is actually a little pricey, especially the Lotus Esprit V8. I would have thought it would be cheaper than that, but at least 190 might not be a bad choice. TVR. McGriffith. So here's my thought. XJ220 actually buy this. Let's just do some quick math here. I'm thinking 22B is 50 grand. A C4 vet is 40 grand. And we need to upgrade that. So save maybe another 40-50 grand. Let's just say 50 grand. We're at 100 grand right now. And then I'm thinking Opel Speedster actually. Because I think this would help us for Spider and Roadster as well. It's low power, but big potential. Probably need to upgrade it. Another 40 grand. We're thinking about 150 grand worth of car with room for upgrades. And a lot of room for upgrades, that is. Let me just check if it's compatible and eligible for Spider and Roadster 2. Is Spider and Roadster back in Amateur League? Guess not. I thought it came back in Amateur League. I know it's in Professional League, but... yeah, it is there. The Opel Speedster. Shelby Cobra. Wait, is the Mugen S2000 eligible? Didn't we just unlock that? I forgot we have a Mugen S2000. We might not even buy a car. Yeah, we have the Mugen S2000. And it's got 243 horsepower. You know what? Man, this double dips because I wanted to get the 22B for Boxer Spirit, but I can't ignore this one. 22B might be for Professional Boxer Spirit, maybe. I forgot about this car, though. Okay, wait. So if we don't need double speedster, I mean, it is a good deal. We could heavily upgrade the TT, though. It is 4-wheel drive. There's also a slew of Evos. I don't know. What else do we have to look at? I'm gonna peek more. So, 80 Sports Car Cup, we need the MX-5 for that. What is in the Boxer Spirit? I'm gonna peek at the preview and see. If there's a 22B in here, then we might need to buy it, but if we're not at that point, then we could probably get a cheaper Subaru. Like a regular Impreza. Oh, I think that's a 22B. Yep, that's a 22B. There's 2 of them in here. There's 2 22Bs in this race. And unsurprisingly, these are class bossing the field. Okay. The 22B exists. Race of NA. What cars are we facing in this one? We could get a Skyline for the red emblem. That is true. We need a Skyline for red emblem, I guess. So I see a Civic, Altezza, but then also a Supra and an MX-5. I'm assuming that's an SCR though. Race the Turbo's got good old test course. You know what? Let's look at the test course preview. So Beetle RSI. Oh, I can't move cars. The whole thing, it's got a top speed. So let's see. There's an S15 up there. Oh, come on, pass the stupid thing, you idiot. Oh well. Oh my god, he's still stuck behind the Sylvia. He doesn't want to move to the right. Well, let's see what we got. MR2, Skyline. It's hard to tell. Oh, here we go. So it does move around cars occasionally. MR2 is slow. Oh man, Impreza, Skyline. Audi S4. So it moves around automatically between cars. Okay. GT All-Stars, we're not there yet. I guess while we're peeking around, we know what tourist trophy and that's have. It's actually a short run for A license. I guess let's look at what the challenges have. FF should be the same. I think that one would just call it the Integra. Because we have horsepower in that one. That'd be good. Whoa, Civic. In my face. Yeah, okay. That shouldn't have surprised me. That was a waste of time. Goodbye, Nissan Skyline. There's not a convertible Skyline, is there? Here's the FR challenge. Mostly JDMs. In fact, it is all JDMs. In fact, they threw in two S2000s. Nobody. Welcome. We're towards the end of the stream, but let's see. What's the MR challenge gun? I imagine NSX. So Clios, Motorsport Elise, NSX. Well, a mix of sporty MR cars. That's not a surprise, honestly. And remember, we do get prize money throughout all this, but it's not that much. $9K red line. Mix of JDM and all this thing's gonna be quick. This one I think I might call the Evo 5-4. But yeah. I think that's all the preview for now, so I'll think about what cars to do. We'll save the game once more, even though we didn't do anything. We just went through previews, didn't even use up days, but I think that's going to be the end of the stream. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I certainly did. This was nice and chill. It's longer too. So that being said, thank you guys all for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.